Hey guys, Aaron here. So today I'm going to show you the best 3 ways to remove a piece of glued PVC from a PVC fitting.
First method is just to simply cut the pipe out. To do this, we're going to cut the pipe into 4 sections. We're going to cut it at the top, the bottom, and on both sides. Now this of course could be done with a sawzall or manually with a hacksaw blade. Now when doing this, it's best not to cut all the way through the pipe, as you could cut the fitting, which could potentially lead to a leak. Then we're going to take our flathead screwdriver and pry off each section of the pipe, making sure to apply pressure inward as to not break the actual fitting. The challenge with this method is that it is labor intensive and does require a significant amount of space. You need to make sure you have plenty of space for your sawzall or any other tools you're going to use, and then you also have to have space to actually pry out the pieces of the pipe. All that being said, I don't think this is the best method for working in tight spaces. The next method is going to be to use a hole saw. To do this, we need to find a hole saw that's roughly the same diameter as the pipe and will fit inside of it. Then we're going to take our blowtorch or heat gun and heat the hole saw for about a minute. Then we'll take the hole saw and stick it inside the pipe for about a minute. This should loosen up the glue holding the pipe in place, and it should also make the pipe malleable. Then after removing the hole saw, we should be able to take our needle nose pliers and twist the pipe out. Even though I am a big fan of this method, I don't recommend it for spaces that are not well ventilated. Heating up the pipe will release toxic fumes into the air, so a well ventilated space and respirator is recommended. The next method uses a tool called a fitting saver or socket saver. Now for links to this or any other tools I might use in my videos, make sure you check out my Amazon store or check the links in the description below. In this method, we simply use the socket saver like we would any drill bit and drill out the pipe. The end of the socket or fitting saver will have a guide that is the same size as the inside diameter of the pipe. And then as you push the socket saver down the pipe, it cuts out only the pipe. This method, like cutting out the pipe, does require a good amount of space and can be labor intensive, especially with larger pipes. It also requires a bit more cleanup than the other methods, and is usually more expensive as you need separate fitting savers for each size of pipe.
Alright, so that's what I would consider to be the best 3 methods to remove a piece of glued PVC from a PVC fitting. Now as I said, each method has its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, 1 and 3 definitely require a little bit more space and can be a little bit more labor intensive, especially when you get to larger pipes. Whereas 2, it's great for tight spots, but you definitely need a well ventilated area and a respirator helps. Now I can't really say use one more than the other. I tend to use 2 and 3 a lot. The hole saw, like I said, is great for tight spots. I've got a respirator and I'm always making sure it's a well ventilated area. Whereas the fitting saver, I tend to use in pretty much any other situation as long as I have the space. The only caveat, again, is that I have to have multiple fitting savers, but if you use them enough, it's worth it. Now, the other technique I've heard a lot about is using a heat gun versus a hole saw. The problem I have with that is it's hard to heat up just the pipe. A lot of times you end up heating up the fitting as well, and that can end up damaging the fitting, which you don't want. Alright guys, as always, if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button and help us out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you click that link below and become one, and we'll catch you on the next one.